What is going on, guys? We are just about to reach the end of the 22-23 RLCS season, which means it is time once again to do some predictions, this time for the World Championships in Dusseldorf. So, gonna run through this. Of course, 24 teams have made their way to the World Championship. 8 are already sitting in the group stage waiting for the results of the wild card. 16 more teams here in the wild card, 8 of which will move on to meet those other 8 in group play. Complexity got the first selection, and they selected Valiant from SSA. And unfortunately, SSA does not have a whole lot of LAN experience. Of course, they're not allowed at majors, which means the only time they get to play international competition is here at the World Championships, and I just don't see this going too well for them. We move on down to G2, and again, I feel the same thing. Don't see it going too well for Limitless. Now we get a little bit more interesting, because APAC has been showing some glimpses here and there of success. You look at how Elevate performed at the Spring Major, even taking a game off of Vitality. So APAC might be slowly on the climb up here. So with that in mind, I still don't have game in winning this. But you know what? Let's give them a game and show that they can compete at this level. Now here's where we start to get into the really interesting situations. OCE has not been incredibly impressive at the last several events, but up until the last one, in the Spring Major, neither had Mina. And I think you get a really even matchup here, especially considering how well a team like Power did against Rule 1 at the Spring Major. So with that in mind, I think this is going to be quite close, but I have a bit more faith in Mina than I do currently in OCE. I'm looking forward to the time that this is a total coin flip, but I'm going to give this one to Twisted Minds. Coming down to Crew and G1, I actually like Crew in this situation. G1 wasn't overly impressive to me across the entire spring split. Crew has consistently performed even on the LAN stage, had a bit of a struggle at the Spring Major, but they are still a force to be reckoned with that you don't want to take too lightly, and I'm actually going to give this to Crew. Again, in a very close one, we'll go for 3. Now we come down to the North American team that I have really not been impressed by pretty much the entire time. SSG, they were the #1 seed at the Spring Major, but they're still not super impressive to me. I don't know what it is about them. I'm just not ever uber impressed by them. They didn't have a great performance at the Spring Major. I have a lot of respect for South America. Yeah, that feels right. Power and Oxygen. Now this is area for upset, in my opinion, because, of course, the two South American matchups also kind of seem like upsets based on the odds, but that's neither here nor there. Power and Oxygen. Power really impressed me with how they played at the Spring Major. Yes, they did get reverse swept by Rule 1, but the fact that they could put 2 games up against a team that was going to go all the way to the final day is very impressive, and might be showing that OCE might be on its way back up. At least that's what I'm hoping it's showing. And Oxygen has looked absolutely dead in the water for a while. I just have not been impressed at all by how Oxygen has played. So with that in mind, I am actually going to give this to Power. And I'm going to go for 2. Then we come down to another very interesting matchup. Of course, Elevate took that game off of Vitality when Vitality wasn't playing very well. But at the same time, Falcons has really struggled in live events as of late, everyone they've been at. I think Elevate has some room here to put in a real upset. I don't think it happens on the first match on LAN, but I think it is incredibly close to happening. Complexity and Twisted Minds, as much as I would love for Mina to keep plowing forward, I don't see it here. G2 and Secret is one that I can see going either way. G2 has also looked very flat. Of course, they did have the whole major issue with JNAPs and the wildfires and things like that. Hopefully, he's been able to kind of bounce back from that horrible situation. You know what? Nope, we're going upsets. We're going upsets. 4-3 Secret, I can see it. Moist Falcons. Rule 1 took down Moist. Falcons, if they've managed to maintain the same level as Rule 1, which they were basically neck and neck for a lot of the season, if they've managed to maintain that same level, I think they can take this. Do I think they'll take this? No. I think this will be Moist going through. We'll go 4-3 for Moist. Power and Crew. Now, this is very interesting because we could have either an OCE team in upper round 3, or we can have both South American teams in the wildcard in upper round 3. I think Crew is overall the better team here. I think it can be close, but I'm going to go 4-3 Crew. Pioneers and Valiant. We got the SSA teams back in here. Pioneers, I think you're better. We'll go 4-1. SSG should have absolutely no problem with Limitless. Go 4-0 there. Elevate and... oh, that is unfortunate. That Elevate and Gaiman have to match up with each other, but make it close, but Elevate should be the better team there. And then G1 and Oxygen. Oxygen has looked absolutely terrible to me, so we'll go G1, 4-2. Alright. Now, let's get our first teams qualified. Matchup of old South American versus current South American. NIP was able to knock out Furia, but when they came up against Complexity, it was a completely different situation at the Spring Major. So I don't think I can give this to Secret. We'll go 4-2. Moist and Crew. Again, this is a match I could see going either way. I think Crew has a lot of potential here, but I don't think they get through yet. I'm going to go 4-3 Moist. Moving on now. G2 and Elevate. I think this is another one that Elevate could come out and surprise a lot of people, but I don't think they do. I think it's 4-2. Power G1. I actually have really liked how Power has been playing. So let's go Power. Falcons, Pioneers. I think Falcons is still the better team here. Twisted Minds and SSG. This is another tough one. SSG should be the favorite, but at the same time, I could see Twisted Minds taking this. Depends on how good Twisted Minds are playing. Why not? Why not just go for it? I think they can do it. Alright, now coming down here, Oxygen, Limitless. Should not have any problem there. Gaiman and Valiant. Now this is a good series. So either APAC or SSA is going to get a win here. APAC has the more experience, so I'm going to give it to them. But I think it's going to be very close. Moves us on here. Crew and Twisted Minds. I was not overly impressed by how Crew played at the Spring Major. They get Power in round 2 based on where we're going. G1 hasn't been on the live event stage in a while, so Crew gets themselves here, but I think Twisted Minds is actually the better team. Cool. Falcons, Secret. We could get both MENA teams going through here. I think Falcons can take down Secret, but Secret has been overall more consistent than Falcons. I think Falcons have now tasted the fact that they weren't able to make the Spring Major. They could come back fighting here. Make it close. G2 Power. Now this is very interesting because G2 has been taken down by an OCE team before. But I don't think it happens here. I think it's close, but I don't think it happens here. Moving on down. SSG and Gaiman. SSG should have very little issue here. Do that. Oxygen and Pioneers. Again, I have said I am not impressed by Oxygen. I'm going to give this to KCP. And lastly, G1 and Elevate. Now, G1 is probably going to be the weakest team that Elevate will have played outside of Gaiman. And you know what? Why don't we have a historic moment here? I'm going to give it to Elevate. Oh, this one's tough. I think Power is better than Elevate. Unfortunately, we gotta say goodbye to both APAC and SSA before we get to the group stage. Make it somewhat close. Crew and SSG. What a heartbreak for SSG to get all the way here and then fall out. Very close. Very, very close. Nah, I'm gonna give it to SSG. I think they have it. And then Secret Pioneers for the final spot in the group stage. Yeah, I think it's Secret. Barely, but I think it is Secret. Complexity and Moist going 3-0. G2, Falcons, Twisted Minds, all 3-1. Space Station Power, Secrets, all 3-2. And Pioneers, Crew, Elevate G1, Oxygen, Gaiman, Valiant, and Limitless all being eliminated in the wild card, having their season come to an end. With that being said, let's take a look at what our groups look like. So match number 1, in each group you got Carmine and Secrets, BDS and Moist, Liquid and Twisted, NIP and G2, Gen G and Power, Rule 1 and Complexity, Vitality and SSG, FaZe and Falcons. Okay, let's start right on off. Carmine and Secret. Sorry, Secret, you've had a fantastic run so far, but I don't see you getting past Carmine here. BDS and Moist. This is a game that Moist can win, but it is not a game that I think Moist does win. We'll make it close, but I don't think Moist wins that one. Liquid and Twisted Minds. Liquid did not have a fantastic showing at the Spring Major. They could have done a lot more than what they did. I think I'm going to give this to Liquid because I don't think the experience at this current event matters too much. And now you have NIP and G2. Now here's the thing. NIP really impressed me at the Spring Major. They got cut down by Complexity, but they looked really good in a lot of games they played. G2 has really been struggling. So you know what? I'm actually going to go NIP here. I think NIP can absolutely do it. So let's go ahead to the upper semifinals first. Carmine Corp and BDS. I think Carmine Corp overall is the better team, assuming they're playing up to their actual level. We'll make it close, but I think Carmine Corp has that. Liquid NIP is another very, very interesting matchup. Liquid getting to play a couple minor region teams instead of anyone from EU and NA. This one's another very, very tough one, but I think I do like Liquid here, but I'm going to make it close. Okay, moving on to the lower quarterfinals, Secret and Moist. Secret is another tough one, just because I think these teams match up very evenly despite the odds, but I am going to go with what the odds say. I think Moist is overall the more consistent team. Now, Twisted Minds and G2 is very interesting. It depends on the quality that G2 is playing at. Because if G2 is playing at a high level, they should be fine. If G2 is kinda trudging along a little bit and not getting along too well, this could go very poorly for them. I don't think I can predict the upset here. I think I can make it close, but I think that's all I can do. G2 will move on. Good luck in the next round, G2. NIP and Moist. Honestly, I think Complexity, who NIP lost to, is a significantly better team than Moist. I actually think that this is NIP. And BDS G2. Sorry, G2, this is where you come to an end. I don't even think it's that close. So, moving on from Group A, you got Carmine, Liquid, NIP, and Team BDS. So, on to Group B. Gen G and Power. This is another one where Power could definitely come out on top here, but I don't know if I see them doing it. I think this is Gen G's match to lose. Rule 1 and Complexity. Wow. What an upper quarterfinal match. I think, based on Rule 1's performance and the fact that they went literally toe-to-toe with Vitality for as long as humanly possible, I really like Rule 1 here. I'm going to make it close, but I like Rule 1. Moving on there. Vitality and SSG. Yeah, nope, not a chance. Sorry, SSG. Nope, no way. Not happening. FaZe Falcons, I have not been impressed by FaZe at all recently. They have not played well. They got reverse swept by Optic, and it was absolutely terrible what they did while doing that. Falcons now feeling kind of revitalized, having pulled through that Swiss stage. Sorry, FaZe. I don't see it. Not a chance. Cool. Moving on down. Power and Complexity. Unfortunately, Power, I think this is where your fantastic run comes to an end. Complexity, simply too good. SSG FaZe. I have more confidence in SSG than I do in FaZe. Okay. Gen G Rule 1. Gen G looked better at the Spring Major, but still not fantastic. They were able to take down Liquid, but I don't really see them getting through a Rule 1, who is absolutely kind of on a fire recently. I'm going to give it to Rule 1. Vitality Falcons. Yeah, sorry Falcons, you've done great, but you're up against kind of a brick wall here. So, 4-2 Vitality. Moving on to the lower semifinals, Falcons, Complexity, Gen G, SSG. These are some tough ones. Falcons absolutely could take down Complexity. It depends on the mental state of Complexity, but I don't see a world in which they do. Complexity almost changed the entire course of the Spring Major with their overtime against Vitality. I think they get through here. Gen G and SSG. Gen G has far more pop-off potential than SSG does, in my opinion. So I think they get it here, and I think it is relatively comfortable. So, Rule 1, Team Vitality, Complexity, and Gen G all move on from Group B. So, that brings us to our final bracket here, and we have some banger matchups across the board. Karmine Corp and Gen G. Wow. What a way to open it up. As much as I love Gen G, I don't see them taking down Karmine, unfortunately. Liquid Complexity, another absolutely fantastic matchup. You know, I've been more impressed by Complexity as of late over Liquid. Liquid's had their stumbles. I think their road does end here. We'll go Complexity. Rule 1 and Team BDS. Now, this is a fascinating matchup. I do think, with the way Rule 1 was playing, if they were potentially given a shot at BDS, they definitely could have taken a couple games off them at the Spring Major. But in the situation we're in now, this is now very, very interesting. I think I am actually going to give this to Rule 1. I don't know why. I just feel it. So, Vitality, NIP. Yep, cool. NIP, your defense is great, but not that good. Nope. Okay. Semifinals, Complexity versus Karmine Corp. Sorry, I don't see Karmine Corp dropping to Complexity. Rule 1, Vitality. I think Rule 1 gets games this time. I don't think Rule 1 gets 4-0'd again. I just don't see that happening. I think they can get 2 games, but this is Vitality's to lose. And now, finally, Grand Finals, rematch of the lower finals at the Spring Major, Karmine Corp and Vitality. Vitality is just currently on another level. I don't see a world where they lose this. So I think I have to, at the current moment in time, with the string of dominance that we've seen from Vitality, have to predict Vitality. Will there be a time where this string of dominance comes to an end? Yes, it's gonna come eventually, but you can't be this dominant for this long and have it randomly capitulate at the World Championships. I just don't see it. I think Vitality takes this down, and they will be your 22-23 RLCS World Champions. Of course, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below this video so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League content. Additionally, if you'd like to be more involved in this community, please consider joining my Discord, link down in the description below. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys. And if you're looking for some more Rocket League entertainment, might I recommend checking out this playlist right here for some RLCS replay analysis. Or check out this video over here to see what it was like to be in attendance at the Spring Major.